walked out of undergrad because now, to be fair, I went out of state.
Yeah.
I did get partial scholarship I think I got like a 30 or 40% scholarship to help me with offsetting the out-of-state cost. I wasn't on scholarship my last year in school. So I took, like an ignorant kid, I took more student loans than I should have just to survive without having to get a job to finish up. I finished at $65,000 in student loan debt because I took...
How old were you?
22.
Imagine having $65,000 debt. I mean, that's the low end. Mm-hmm. You're $65,000 in debt before you even started.
I was.
That's insane.
I don't have to imagine it because I was. I legitimately was.
And here...
At 22.
Now, flip it... go. Sorry, finish your point.
Well, here's the thing. So and this was in 2004. I interviewed for jobs. Mm-hmm. My first offer was $32,000 plus a small bonus incentive type job. So I think total I could have made maybe $40,000. And this was 2004. Every offer from that point on went down. So I was losing offers, right?
Yeah.
I knew that the military offered student loan repayment. So that's basically how I dug myself out of the hole. But I know plenty of people that still have that mountain of student loan debt that they basically have never been able to scratch the surface at because of how high the payments are, because of the debts, whatever, you name it. Versus an example of someone that I know today who is about to turn 18, if he's not already turned 18, started his own landscaping business at 12 years old, cut his neighbor's yards for a few years, then turned it into an actual viable business when he got his driver's license, and is already making $6-figure a year at 18 years old.
Exactly.
And I know another kid who did the same deal. He started a semester of college. He was a football player. He got a scholarship for it, hated it, and was like, I'm out. Went to work, and at 19 years old was making $50,000-$60,000 a year. And
what's the moral there is people have realized that institution. So look at it from the institution standpoint, right? If I'm a college, what I want to do is I want to add as many products as possible, degrees, as many, and they're going to sound fancy and new age, and they're going to change the world, but they mean absolutely fuck all.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring as many people in, and they're going to go get student loans to pay me, and then the government's going to subsidize me from this end, and I'm sitting here making, because it's like the medical industry. It's no longer about education, it's about money.
It is about money. Well, and here's the other thing for me. Like I played baseball, right? And I love the game of baseball. To this day, I love the game. It's amazing. It's fun. It's just, there's so many life transferable skills to it. But having said that, baseball also set me back 20 years.
Yeah.
And one of the struggles that I had, so I wanted to keep playing ball. Well, how do you keep playing ball? You either play professionally or you go to college.
Yeah.
Well, I screwed up and didn't get it. Like what I've got drafted, I don't really know, but I was told that I was going to had some teams that were wanting to watch me play to get drafted to play professionally. I got arrested at a party for drinking underage, so I went to jail, got suspended for 3 games. No pro teams got to see me play. I never got drafted, so I go to college. And then I get these student loans. Well, now on the backside of it, I'm like, well, how do I pay for these? So I go to the military because I get the student loan repayment. Now the interest kicked in, and by the time the Army repayment was going, they were up to $90,000. Wow! I think it was like 95
just on interest.
Yeah, because it was accruing daily.
That's insane.
So I was up to like 90 or 95,000. The Army kicked in; they paid a good chunk. But even when I got out of the Army, I still had $30,000 worth of debt. I deployed to Afghanistan, and I made money as a civilian to help pay off all these debts.
Yeah.
Okay, so now fast forward, I'm in the corporate world. I have the post 9/11 GI Bill, so I had to go serve and deploy 3 times to get these education benefits. And there's mental aspect that was wreaked havoc on me for that. I decide, well, I'm going to get a master's degree because I'm in the corporate world thinking it's going to make me more attractive for a promotion, possibly make more money, whatever. Yeah. So I use the education benefit. I get the master's degree. It's in leadership, essentially, business leadership. And I go to HR department and say, hey, I'm just curious. I'm about to finish this master's program. Yeah. Does that equate to more pay? Nope, sure doesn't. And they basically said, great job, congratulations, get in this company. We don't even require, at this point, they had changed their requirements. They didn't even require a bachelor's degree to promote and go through all this. I know people that promoted to some of the highest levels within the company, no college education.
Wow.
And I'm like, on one hand, you go, well, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
why should that person get the job whenever they didn't do what I did? But at the same time, I'm like,
but are they more skilled than you? Probably, because they actually had on-hands experience.
Yeah.
And this rolls back to exactly what I'm talking about, right? So you go through all of these mechanisms that they tell you is the way to be successful, right? None of them are going to lead you where they think they're going to lead you, because it's a format of control. And there's always it's a business, right? So something interesting is happening right now. So RFK wants to roll back on SNAP payments, which is food stamps, right? So if you have a SNAP card and you go in, what they want to do is they want to limit what people can buy. So they want to take out any sugary drinks and any sweets. Now, as someone who believes and knows how bad that is for you, I like, okay, here's my take on it. And most people would agree, right? When I say most people, I'm like 90% of the population is going to agree with this. If you are in a position, right? If you are in a position where you require a SNAP card and you need to be on food stamps, that food is subsidized by us.
yeah,
If that food is subsidized by us, you should be given a range of foods that you eat that do not benefit these other companies that attribute to your health to get you to a position that you can buy your own food.
Yeah.
If you're going to be buying sugary drinks, you should use your own money, right? You shouldn't use someone else's money. Here's the problem. $4 billion is how much soda companies make of SNAP cards.
wow,
$4 billion. So now what's happening is those lobbyists have started going into overdrive.
well, yeah, because you're hurting their pocket.
Because if this goes through, it hurts them on their bottom line.
Yeah, totally.
The interesting part about that is, right, all these right-leaning influencers who've been pumping out and calling out things, there's a whole group of them who get paid, and all of a sudden they're putting out the exact same talking points. No, Donald Trump drinks Diet Coke, so we shouldn't do this to people. There should be freedom of choice. All these type of things, exact same talking points. All of them were paid off. Right? What does that show you? That shows you that any side, no matter which one you choose, is fallible. They're human beings. Money changes people's outcomes. So,
totally.
you know, when we talk about someone that comes in, you know, and you mentioned previously Democrats, I agree with you. They're stupid in one sense, right? And I'm saying that in the most loving, kindest way, is because they're so captured by what they've been told without verifying it, and they're so stuck into an ideology. It's like a cult, and it happens on all sides.
Yeah.
That they're unwilling to listen to any reasonable argument or any reasonable logic which could counteract their belief system. It's like going to someone, and you know, it's like going to someone 1,000 years ago, or 100 years ago, or 200 years ago, who is Christian, right? And if their entire belief system is lined in this, and now all of a sudden, make it 500 years ago, and all of a sudden showing them, listen, there's this universe. The Earth isn't the center of the universe. You know, there's planets out there, there's stars, you can do this, and all of a sudden you're breaking their dynamic of what the world was and their understanding of it.
Yeah.
And in these people's minds, what happens is there's so much justification in their minds of what they're doing that there's no conversation. They are so captured. It's like being in a cult. The part where this becomes interesting is that's not a Democrat thing. That's not their side thing. It's a people thing.